Welcome to Daily Harmony. We're diving deep today, really focusing on the source material you shared with us. It's all about A Course in Miracles.
That's right. And specifically, we're zeroing in on Lesson 234. It's got that powerful title, My Identity is in You.
Yeah, powerful stuff. And we've got the study guide here, some key bits from the workbook, and a review document, too, all looking at this one lesson.
Right. All focused.
So our goal today is to really, unpack what Lesson 234 is actually teaching.
Get to the core message.
Exactly, and understand why it's considered such a big deal within the course itself. We'll look at some practical ways it suggests you can integrate this understanding into daily life.
Make it real.
Yeah, and reflect on what this all means for, your own sense of self, fundamentally.
Okay, so let's jump in. The absolute core message of Lesson 234. It's about recognizing our true identity.
Or true identity.
Yes, it teaches that our true self is as children of God.
And importantly, it's not saying this is something you achieve later. It's about always being in that state.
Precisely. Always connected, always in divine love. It's presented as our inherent reality, not a goal to reach.
So when the lesson talks about identity with a capital, what exactly are we talking about? The sources seem specific here.
They are. It's definitely not the identity built on, say, your career, your relationships, your history.
The stuff the world tends to define us by, the ego stuff.
Exactly that. This identity is your fundamental unchanging nature as a child of God, intrinsically linked to the divine source.
Okay, so children of God. In this context, it signifies more than just a religious term.
Much more. It points to our divine origin, that inherent connection to a higher power, source, God, whatever term resonates.
It's like our spiritual heritage.
You could put it that way.
Yeah.
Love, grace, connection. They're presented as our birthright.
And the lesson seems to contrast this with how we might see our status in the world.
Oh, absolutely. The sources really highlight this. Your true status, it says, isn't about your achievements or wealth or what people think of you.
It's something deeper.
It's your fundamental status as a divine being,
Yeah.
eternally connected to God. That's the foundation it asks you to stand on.
And this idea directly confronts what the Course often calls the core problem, that belief in separation.
Yes, the materials are very clear on this. Separation is that deep-seated feeling or perception that we're somehow cut off.
Cut off from God, from others.
Both, and even from our true selves. That sense of being alone, isolated, maybe fundamentally flawed or different.
And Lesson 234 just cuts right through that.
Like a laser, yeah. By constantly asserting our true status, that inherent divine connection, it aims to just dispel that illusion of separation.
Why is tackling separation so central, though?
Well, the sources link that belief directly to suffering. It's positioned as the root cause of fear, guilt, conflict.
All the painful stuff that comes from feeling disconnected.
Exactly. So the lesson, by affirming we're inherently unified with the divine, offers a kind of antidote. It's saying that whole system of suffering, it's based on a mistake about who you are.
Okay, that makes sense. So why is this lesson, Lesson 234, considered so significant within the whole course?
Its significance lies right there in that radical statement about identity. The Course basically argues our main problem is a case of mistaken identity.
Believing we're this limited, separate self the ego tells us we are.
Precisely. And Lesson 234 just states the truth directly. My identity is in you, meaning in God. It's like the reset button for that whole mistaken belief system.
And the sources really emphasize this point. Our perception of ourselves shapes our reality.
Hugely important. If you buy into the separation narrative, seeing yourself as small, guilty, alone, that's the world you'll experience. Fear feels very real then.
But the lesson holds out another possibility.
A possibility for a profound shift, yes. By choosing to embrace this true identity as a child of God, connected, loved, whole.
You can start to experience a different reality.
Exactly. One based on love and peace, not fear and limitation. Shifting your self-perception literally changes the world you see around you.
Okay, that sounds amazing, but how? How do you actually do that? It sounds like a big leap from understanding it to living it.
It can feel like it, but the sources offer some really practical, down-to-earth methods.
Good. Like what?
Well, one really simple but powerful tool is a daily affirmation. It's about consciously choosing, maybe first thing in the morning, to anchor your mind in this truth. The affirmation suggested is direct. Today, I remember my identity as a child of God.
Just saying, that sets a different tone for the day.
It really can. It redirects your focus right at the start.
There's also a mindfulness exercise mentioned that sounds more experiential.
It is. It's about getting a feel for it, internalizing it. You take a moment, breathe.
Like a mini meditation.
Sort of. You visualize as you inhale, drawing divine love or light or that feeling of connection, whatever represents your true nature for you.
Okay.
And as you exhale, you consciously release thoughts of being separate, unworthy, guilty, limited, anything that contradicts that core identity.
So that directly tackles those feelings of unworthiness. The sources seem to link to separation.
Exactly. And then there's a reflection exercise.
Hmm.
This one's about challenging the old thought patterns more actively.
How does that work?
It asks you to notice during your day when you feel disconnected.
Like feeling judged, or maybe you feel like you really messed something up, that kind of thing.
Precisely. Or just feeling less than or alone. The exercise suggests taking maybe 5 minutes, acknowledging those specific moments. You could even jot them down.
Okay.
But the crucial step is then, for each instance, consciously countering it with the truth of your divine nature and connection. Remember your holiness, despite what just seemed to happen.
It's like actively choosing the lesson's perspective over the ego's interpretation.
You got it. It's mental training, really. And finally, they suggest meditation.
A more formal practice.
Yes, as a direct way to cultivate a felt sense of this identity, that feeling of peace, of belonging.
Wow.
Focusing on a simple phrase can be very powerful. The lesson suggests this one: I am your son.
Connecting back to that child of God idea.
Directly. Sitting quietly with that phrase, letting its meaning really sink in, can help foster that direct experience of oneness with the source. It's about reclaiming that sacred identity beyond just intellectual understanding.
These practices seem designed to lead you towards the core reflection question the lesson poses.
Yeah, it's a really pointed question for personal application. In what ways do I allow external circumstances to dictate my sense of self?
And how can I shift my focus back to my identity as a child of God? Wow, that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? It makes you look at how easily we let the outside world opinions, situations, failures define who we think we are.
And it prompts that conscious choice. Am I going to believe the world, or am I going to align with my truth?
It's not just knowing you're a child of God, it's about living from that place. Remembering your holiness even when things look messy.
And the sources are pretty clear. When you commit to focusing on this true identity, recognizing yourself, and importantly others too, as children of God, all unified.
It starts to dissolve those illusions of separation.
Yes. And with that, the thoughts of unworthiness, the guilt that comes from believing you're somehow cut off from love, from God, that starts to release.
So it really is about reclaiming your true sacred identity, the one that's rooted in that unbreakable divine connection.
Moving from feeling isolated to knowing your inherent unity and belonging.
And bringing it all back to your daily life. Why does this matter?
Because understanding your true status, as the lesson puts it, is what shapes your reality.
Yeah.
It's not just a nice spiritual concept.
It's the path to peace.
Peace, yes.
Yeah.
Moving beyond fear, letting go of guilt, recognizing the infinite worth you already have just because of what you are, not because of what you do or don't do.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Lesson 234, my identity is in you. Maybe a final thought for you to consider. Reflect on this. What would your life actually look like, not just in quiet moments, but right in the middle of everything, the challenges, the interactions, the everyday stuff?
Right in the thick of it.
Yeah. What would it look like if you truly lived from the constant, unwavering awareness that your fundamental status is divine being? Perfectly whole, always connected to the source, no matter what seems to be happening on the outside.